Star Trek First Contact was released on November 22nd, 1996. The film grossed $30.7 million in its first week and making it to the top of the US box office. It was also the best performing Star Trek movie until the 2009 reboot. The film was received with positive reviews on release. The plot is as follows. The Enterprise E and its crew follow a Borg ship through a time warp to prevent the Borg from taking over the Earth and stop first contact with the Vulcans in the 2060s. Stuck in the past, Geordi LaForge, played by LeVar Burton, helps the pioneer of warp travel, played by James Cromwell, in his efforts to create the first warp-drive ship, while Captain Picard, played by Patrick Stewart, and Commander Data, played by Brent Spiner, try to defeat the Borg as they try to take over the Enterprise E. First Contact was directed by Jonathan Frakes, who plays Commander Riker in the film. The last time an actor directed a Star Trek movie, it was the worst thing you could ever view with your human eyes. The music in this film was composed by Jerry Goldsmith, who composed several scores for the Star Trek movies. This film's score is as usual very good, though I'm not sure if it's as good as the previous film score, but the main title music is incredible. It's probably his best work. The effects in this film don't feel like they were rushed like the last film. This may be due to the fact they didn't have to rush it out after the show had ended, and the fact they had 10 million more to spend on effects than the last film. As good as this film is though, there is a huge error in the plot. Why are the Borg actually stopping first contact? Is it so they aren't noticed by the Vulcans? But why don't they just travel back to the 1960s instead of the 2060s? It would be so much easier. Also, isn't the crew of the Enterprise violating the Temporal Prime Directive, just beaming down in the middle of a village and then whipping out their phasers? It's were they not thinking? Also, the Borg Queen kinda takes away the creepy sort of linked hive mind the Borg has, sort of replacing it with a leader, but this is a double-edged sword, as it ruins the hive mind aspect, but the Queen of the Borg is a really compelling and cool character, so I'm willing to let this off, because it is a really, really good addition to the film. But the good outweighs the bad in this film. The assimilation of the Enterprise is awesome. Seeing the ship change and the crew being turned into Borg is really cool. Also, the holodeck scene is a nice homage to an episode of The Next Generation that's called The Big Goodbye. It's quite nice, and you'd notice it if you were a fan of the show, that's for sure. They also go on the exterior of the Enterprise, which is something I've always wanted to see happen, and it's a really tense scene, and it's quite good. It's one of the best in the film, actually. And the opening battle over Earth scene is awesome, as the effects are incredible. In fact, the effects in this film have aged incredibly over 21 years. Another positive aspect is the scenes on Earth and space 60s basically are quite funny and are interesting to see the conception of a warp drive, as it's a huge part of Star Trek. And Picard's speech is incredible. It rivals Kirk's moment in Wrath of Khan. And then suddenly Worf has a purple space bazooka. Oh wait, wrong movie. So, overall, this film is immensely enjoyable. This is definitely the best of the Next Generation movies. It's an enjoyable movie on its own, and it's a real good Star Trek movie, ignoring the large plot hole. So I would recommend this movie to anyone who's looking for a good sci-fi movie, so you should give Star Trek First Contact a look. Thanks for watching.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.